KLIF News, time 7:18. 40 quarterbacks are supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be the smartest guy on the team.
They are.
Well, I don't know. I was kind of surprised by Colin Kaepernick. Controversy swirling around the 49ers. 49ers quarterback. And by the way, the 49ers they don't need this kind of toxic distraction inside their locker room. They've got enough problems as it is. Chris Lewis is an attorney at Crane, Lewis & Brogdon in Dallas and a former sports agent. He joins us now to weigh in on the controversy of Colin Kaepernick refusing to stand for the national anthem. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, guys. How are y'all?
Just fine. What do you think of all this?
Well, I don't think that necessarily quarterbacks, as someone that's played football, are the smartest guys on the football field. So that's the first thing I take issue with. The great thing about our country is that somebody, especially someone who has a platform, can do something like this, and we can accept his right to protest in the manner that he sees fit. So, I mean, there's the greatness of our country, but I think that he was a little short-sighted in what he did in refusing to stand, because there's people entrenched on both sides of the issue. Obviously, we all want everybody to get along, live in harmony. But I think that what he did ultimately is he caused those who are entrenched on either side to either become that more entrenched and that more dug in. And I don't think that it did anything to bring us closer to where we want to be.
What does this do for his marketability for endorsements and things like that?
It's not great, because what he's done is he's put himself on the side of the net. Well, okay, take other athletes. Other athletes have done similar things in that they've made their voices known, but they've done it in a much more diplomatic way. He did it, and many people are going to perceive that as a sign of disrespect to the flag, to the people in service, to the people that protect us, to our country. A lot of people are going to see it as un-American. And if you're a high-profile athlete and you're perceived as un-American, then you've killed your marketability.
Sure. He actually said specifically, because he was questioned about it, that he's not protesting the military. He's got nothing against the military or veterans. It's just cops. Well, the flag and the national anthem stand for much more than that. And it would have made a lot more sense. And I think as a sports agent, you might have told him, look, why don't you try to do something, A, more positive in making your statement, and B, something that people are not going to get upset about. Amy and I are talking about it earlier and saying, well, he should put his money where his mouth is. He's got a lot of it. How about maybe, a $5 million donation to the San Francisco Police Department for training or something like that? That would get people talking.
No doubt. And that would get people talking in a very, very positive way. And you hit the nail on the head. It was very short-sighted, because the flag is emblematic of so many more things than just our law enforcement. We all know what he's trying to protest. But what he did was he caused so much collateral damage in the wake of what he was trying to do. He didn't have a very well-conceived plan. I think what he needs to do now, as far as putting his money where his mouth is try, and this is what I would say, because I don't think he ran this by his agent or his attorneys or anybody before he did it. But what they need to do is they need to regroup, and they need to say, you need to take this a step further, because the way it's being received right now is not good for you, and it's not good for the message you were trying to send.
Do you think he'll get a talking to by the team's owner and say, hey, stop doing this?
Yeah, because and they say that the NFL's not going to do anything. It wasn't part of their collective bargaining agreement, and I guess they need to tread this properly. But yeah, if I was the owner, I would say everything that you do is not only a reflection of Colin Kaepernick, it's a reflection of the San Francisco 49ers and of the NFL. And before you do something like this, it might be wise. I mean, we absolutely support your ability to make a statement over social issues like this, but for something that also reflects on us and has to do with our bottom line, how about you come and talk to us and tell us what you're planning to do? I think he's probably going to get that message loud and clear.
So very quickly, let's turn our attention to Tony Romo just for a minute, because you are a former sports agent, and I'm wondering if your client is in the position that Tony's in, which is seemingly always hurt. A lot of people are kind of thinking he's something like a China doll. He's very fragile and so forth. And we talked with a doctor who said, no, he's not fragile. This is just one of those things that happens. What do you do at this point while he's rehabilitating to try to keep him out front and keep everything positive for him?
Well, I think with Tony's no spring chicken. He knows what he's doing. He's been paid a lot of money. He's enjoyed a lot of success. I think he loves playing the game. He wants to be the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But, yeah, at some point when you have had repeated injuries and to the extent that, now it's your back. And a lot of these injuries are going to play a part in your quality of life after football. At some point in time, there's got to be a reflection and whether or not this was just a freak injury on the third play of a game. And it looked fairly routine to me, something that he's going to experience a lot during the season. So is this something that was just a freak injury? And if it is, then that's okay. But if it's not, there needs to start being questions about how this is going to affect the rest of his life and the quality of life. And then maybe make some hard choices. I know a lot of people have said Tony Romo needs to retire. I mean, we're not in there. We're not the doctors. We don't know exactly what's going on. But some hard questions need to be asked because we have seen the older he gets, the frequency of the injuries and serious injuries started to mount up.
All right, Chris Lewis, attorney at Crane, Lewis and Brogdon in Dallas and a former sports agent. And coming up.